Hey guys, it's that time. It's that time. It's almost September 11th, so you know it's getting ready to be an issue. First of all, Beauty in Black is going to be back on Netflix next week on the 11th. We also have Zatima coming on the same day, but it will be on, I want to say BET Plus. Today we're going to talk about Beauty in Black. In the next video, we'll be talking about Zatima. We'll be talking about the final episode, my predictions, and the trailer, as we will be talking about Beauty in Black the same way today. What's going on? I'm excited. I'm excited. I may have told you guys this before, but I'm going to say it again. When I first started watching Beauty in Black, I watched part of the first episode. I'm like, okay, this is not for me. Kimmie was in the room with Roy. And I'm like, okay, this is just not my type of thing. But then something called me back. Something called me back. And by the time I went back, both seasons were available. And I just went right on through and fell in love. This show is the jam. Now, before we get into the into part, I want to talk about Horace, ladies. Ladies, it's Horace coming back. Okay, now we know that I believe he's supposed to have cancer. We know this. However, if you are a hopeless romantic and a sucker for love as I, then you may be looking at it in a different way. You may be very hopeful like I am. But here's the thing. This is my prediction and my hope. Okay, we got to combine the two. Horace, he's sick. We don't know what's wrong with him. We know he's coughing up blood. He has this really bad cough. He needs this medication. We know something is wrong. So it comes across as him having cancer. Now follow me. Let's go back. Now he was interested not in any other male dancer, just Angel. Just Angel. Angel was his eye candy. That was it. That's all he wanted. Now, I'm saying this to say that he's in the hospital. He's sick. He's on his deathbed. If you remember, and it was very clever the way they did it, the way it was written. If this is the case, it was very cleverly written. If you remember on the final episode, Mallory came in with lemons. She was looking for Horace. Horace was not there. He was in the hospital. And I believe the other lawyers may have been there when Mallory walked in. Not for sure if they were there. I think so. But in any case, she said that she was there to see Horace. And she says, I have his lemons. I give them to him every day. Now, I could be way off, but as a writer, my mind is always clicking. I'm always creating. I'm always wishing and hoping and predicting. My guess is that those lemons may be poison. She's giving them to Horace every day, and he's sick. I could be way, way off. That's where I am right now. So he's sick, and I'm just wondering if that's the reason why he had this obsession with Angel. Maybe something was going on with his mind because he has, I'm trying to remember. He said something. He said something to the family attorney, Charles's boo, about, how do I say, men liking men. Is it safe to say that? But he said something about that. And it just makes me think like, okay, is he really into it or not? But anyway, this is just me trying to keep hope alive. I'm hoping that those lemons that Mallory was giving him were poison and that he'll be okay once they realize that that's really what the problem is and it is not cancer. Now, ladies, I don't know of any lady that's not hopeful that Horace will survive. Now, as it looks, it just seems like, okay, he's going to be wiped out in the hospital, but that's not what's going to happen. If you look at the trailer, then you'll see that he is at home in bed. Now, he's still at home in bed. I've heard that he's not going to make it through the second season. But the thing is, we always need some type of a love interest. We always need that. And if you think about it, most shows have a love interest where they're torn back and forth and back and forth. If they get rid of Horace, it's going to be an issue. But anyway, let's get into it because I just went all around the mulberry bush with that one. Kimmie finally gets her sister. I don't know how I feel about that. Yes, Sylvie needed to be saved. She was in that relationship over there with her mom and dad or stepfather, and he was taking advantage of her. Kimmie wanted her sister. She got her. Okay. Now, in the last episode, I was really pissed off at Sylvie because get in here and be quiet. Okay, so Kimmie lied and told you that she was a nurse. You find out that she wasn't. Grow up. Grow up. You're 16. You was in this horrible relationship with your mom and her husband. Grow up. Be happy. Things are getting ready to get better. Let me say this. In the new episodes, Rain is going to ask Kimmie, what about your sister? So what happened? What has she gotten herself into? Because I was hoping they was going to send her off to a fancy boarding school and just let her come back a little bit later on. Let's get established in the storyline. But I'm wondering if she's going to, and I could be way off and I hope it's not true. What if she goes to the club? What if she goes to that life? Something has to be going, something's going to happen with her because it's not going to be peaches and cream. They're not just going to spend a lifetime shopping. That's not what's getting ready to happen. Something has to pop. Anyway, let me get into my notes. Okay, Angel gets arrested in the final episode because the car that Kimmie drove Sylvie to the hospital in, there was a man in there, and he's passed. He's moved on to glory. And Angel, I think when Angel found out that that's what the case was, I don't know if there was a financial gain or not. I can't remember. But he goes to the car and the man is still in there. The police roll up. They were waiting for whoever was responsible for that man being in the car and the carjacking or the car stealing to show up. And here comes Angel. So they arrest him. Now, Angel's in jail. Now, at one point in the trailer, I could have sworn that I saw Angel driving. But then they show him, looks like he's in the interrogation room. Not sure, but I could have sworn that's what I saw. It could have been things being out of sequence. It could have been my mind being out of sequence, but I could have sworn that's what I saw. At any rate, Angel has to play a bigger role than what he's playing. If you look back at the first episode, he was the one who got them in trouble. So I think that he has to stay around. He deserves a break. Like he made this bad decision. It went terribly wrong. And he was a slave, just like Kimmie and Rain. So hopefully he'll be getting out and he'll be able to help in this new business venture that they're getting ready to embark upon. But anyway, looking at my notes, I was just talking about how I feel about Horace. Ladies love Horace. I talked about the lemons. One thing, guys, Kimmie can finally get rid of those lashes. Her lashes, all I could think about was caterpillars, and I'm just like, how could she see? But she can finally get rid of those lashes. Kimmie is a very beautiful girl. She's very pretty. So they're gonna spruce her up in this season, and she's gonna bring it. I know that her wardrobe is about to be fierce. I can see that. I see them tightening up her hair. She's getting ready to have fun, but I know that she's going to still be afraid, and she's walking into something that she has no idea what she's doing. All she has is Horace in her ear telling her, "Listen, you got this." He's adamant about her getting in there and running the show. Now, he said something. He said that he was going to have somebody to teach her everything that she needed to know. Who was that person? Because we haven't met anybody that was on the up and up. Who is that person? I hope that it's not the family lawyer, Charles's boo, because he seems to know everything, the ins and outs. But just who could it be? Are they going to bring in a new character? Because at this point, there is nobody available to teach her that's on the up and up. So we'll be looking out for that. Olivia, Horace's ex-wife. He told Kimmie not to let the dimples fool him. That was hilarious. I talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again. I've seen her in a lot of shows, lots of movies. She has never done anything better than, as far as I'm concerned, her role on All My Children. I was a little girl now. I didn't have any business probably watching All My Children. I believe I started watching it around the age of 10. So I watched it on the days when we didn't have school, and I kept with it all the way up to about 2010. I wonder if it still comes on somewhere. I don't know, because a lot of shows still come on. Bold and Beautiful, Young and Restless. There's another one. I can't think of that other one. I don't know if it's General Hospital, but at any rate, I loved Angie on there. That's where, well, Angie was on Roots also, but right here on All My Children. Now, if you think about it, and I talked about this before, so I'm going to talk about it again. She was married to Jesse. Now, Jesse, I don't remember if this is when he died for real, but Angie was a doctor, and Jesse went under, and she had to perform CPR on him. And when I tell you, you could see, and this is going to be nasty, and some of y'all might want to look it up, you could see the saliva coming from her mouth. She was in there. There's no way they could have faked this. I can't believe that. I don't want to believe it. She was in there, and just the scream and the cry. So no matter where Debbie Morgan goes, she's going to always be my Angie. Dr. Hubbard. She's going to always be that. But what was hilarious about her is the way she rigged up that tape when the recording, when the lawyer smacked her back. She smacked her first and she smacked her back. And then she goes over there singing a gospel song like nothing ever happened. We're going to see how it goes, because, as she said, Horace is trying to dilute everybody's share. And I love it. I love it. I like Charles. He, to me, is so unbothered. Like, nothing bothers him. Everything is going to be cool. He's not worried about it. Even when they thought that he was dead and he wasn't, and he was like, okay, what's the problem? I just love him. He's so unbothered. This right here is affecting him somewhat, but because he's so cool, he's going to continue to be cool. Now, Roy, even though he and Charles are both, how do they say, partaking in the booger sugar or whatever they call it, he's so uncool. The look on his face, the fire in his eyes when he saw that Kimmie is not only his stepmother, she is also his boss, after the terrible things that he did to her and the things that he said to her. I love it. I love it. I'm excited. I cannot wait. Now, I want to know, when the show starts, are we going to get episode this week, episode that week, like we do with Sisters? Are we going to just get that whole drop? It's got to be the whole drop. I can't see it another way. I think that that's what it was the last time. I'm still looking. Oh, okay. So I see T.S. Madison is still on the show. So in order for T.S. Madison to still be there, T.S. Madison was heavily in the, I don't know if she was a dancer, but she was rolling with Body. And Kimmie shot she didn't shoot her. She ran over with a car, but she killed Body. T.S. Madison is still there. I did see clips from the strip club. So what's keeping the strip club going? Because Jules, his cover has been blown. I'm trying to think who was in business with him. Was it the brother? Can't remember his name. Can't remember his name. His name is on it. Richard Lawson. Was he the brother? Was he in cahoots with the? Yeah, he was. But I want to know, now that the cover has been blown, who's running that? You got to think about it. Who's running that? Because it's still there. So if you look at all our key players, it's still going back to Sylvie. I could be off, but somebody's got to be in that club. Somebody has to be affiliated with it, and I wonder if it's her. We'll know soon. I don't care for Rain. I didn't care for Rain from the first episode when she was a scared kid too, but she kind of talked Kimmie into getting into this, into getting on the plane. And she didn't. She didn't have a belief. She thought that all she was going to ever be was a stripper. And that's fine. Got your dark moment. But I felt like she was rain. No, you get it. She was raining on. She was raining on Kimmie's parade when she went to the conference or whatever that was with Mallory and for Beauty in Black. So now here she is with her busted butt, all of a sudden better, getting ready to leave the hospital and live the life with Kimmie. Now, when you have a friend, yes, you typically you're supposed to take your friend with you, but I hope that that friendship doesn't last. I hope it doesn't because I don't like Rain. I don't care for Rain at all, and I'm gonna say it one more again. I can't stand her. It's like she got right on the boat. Now Horace already took care of you. She just, I don't know, y'all. We got to watch out for her. Let me see. Um, okay, I think I covered everything as far as that goes. I want to see is this the staff that's welcoming Kimmie when she first get there? Because people are clapping. I think that eventually Mallory's going to try to play Kimmie. She's going to try to play her and probably make it like they can be friends and run things together. She's going to probably try to play her. She looks like the type that'll get close to you, and she's probably looking at Kimmie as a young, naive girl. But I hope that Kimmie is fully trained and ready for her first day at work. I hope that she is. I hope that she and Charles form some type of a union. That's how much I love him. I hope that they do. But I do believe that Mallory is going to try to get close to her. Kimmie's not going to be buying it. And Horace is probably going to tell her to watch out, watch your back. I think that's all I got. I think that's it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited for the fashions. I'm just excited for the entire production. We got to keep Horace hold him up in prayer, ladies. We got to hold him up in prayer because we need for him to still be there. I just want him to wake up and be like, okay, it's not cancer. Mallory, I do believe that you were poisoning me. I'm back up in the building. Me and Kimmie, we about to be in love, and I never had a thing for me. I'm so hopeful, such a romantic and a fool probably for love. But we're gonna see what happens, guys. So this is the end of my predictions, my hopes, my thoughts, and what I saw. This is the end. So you guys won't hear back from me until after the first episode. So I'll see you guys next week.